Welcome everyone to another edition of Talking Swish. Larry here along with Steven Dykeman. Very exciting time to do a podcast because you're fresh off a good performance on the Lotus Box event.
Yeah, top four of the Envy was really, well, I guess whatever they're calling it. I think they called it an invitational.
Yeah.
The 12 player finals of their league basically. But yeah, top four was cool. Historic was pretty stale, and we'll talk about that format in a second, as well as the other bands. But I just played, kind of the de facto best deck in Standard, which is Bant, and then I played what I thought would be a good choice in Historic. It's definitely, I think, the second best deck, Roll, but I think the Bant Nexus deck's probably the deck to beat in that format, and I'm pretty sure that event showed it, and a few prior events, just the fact that Bant Nexus had won the events.
And Grow too. Grow Nexus. It's been like somebody was saying it's like an event deck where it came out with Nexus versus Grow.
That's really
That's
funny.
the format. Those are the decks.
And it really is. When I was testing, I was literally, because I figured almost because it was a 12-player event and they're all solid players, I pretty much assumed that every single player was going to be on Grow, Nexus, and maybe Mono Red and maybe Mono Blue. Those were my only considerations. I didn't think any other deck would be played. So when I was testing stuff, I tried to keep that in mind. Couldn't really find anything that beat both decks consistently. And to be fair, I didn't test Historic as hard as I probably should have for that event anyway, or at least played like the most real decks or whatever. So at the by the time I was really focusing hard on that format, I only had like a day left. So coming up with a whole new deck out of left field wasn't going to work. So I just went with Groll. But I don't think Groll, the way I had it built, was a successful plan to beat Bant Nexus. I think if Groll wants to beat that deck, it needs to play Heroic Interventions, at least 3 in the board. I haven't really tested that theory much because I don't enjoy playing Groll all that much either.
Right.
So, or at least not that version of Groll. Like our Abash Groll deck was sweet. I definitely hope to play more of that on some of our videos and stuff. It's a fun, and it's just fun. Like I like when I play my decks, I want to be able to get like value and card advantage and stuff.
And that's what we were doing.
And like the Groll deck that I was playing, like one of the big weaknesses of Groll that Nexus really doesn't have is Groll just like putters out and doesn't do anything sometimes because there's no manipulation and there's no card draw. So sometimes you like keep a 3-lander with like double Burning Tree, Ooze, and like a Stomp or something, and you draw 4 lands in a row, and then you like don't do what you need to do. And even though you had like a Burning Tree draw, which was busted, you can still lose that game because you just run out of pressure. So yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of that deck, but I knew it was just a powerful deck, and that was what I wanted to play. But yeah, today's going to be a fun podcast though for sure because we're talking about a deck that I do love. With our special guest that we're bringing on today, who also loves the same archetype, so it'll be cool to get his insights on that as well.
As people who've seen our title, today is taxes and mono white strategies.
Decks,
white
piles of stuff.
In addition, we're going to be doing band predictions because the bands were announced for Monday.
Yep.
But other than that, there's going to be a really good taxes episode.
Yeah, no, it will. Chase is definitely. Really, probably like the only other like player that I know personally that really just loves the archetype and enjoys playing it, and he's going to have a lot of insight for us, even more so than myself, which will be cool. The only Taxes archetype I have a huge amount of information on is Mono White, the one that I've top 8'd an SCG with and played for a good probably half a year to a year before that. But Chase really knows about all sorts of styles other than just like mono white, or I guess in my case it was mono white with Displacer.
Yep.
Which we'll get into like,
more into detail on that. But I'd like to bring him on.
Yeah.
Without further ado, we're going to go ahead and bring Chase Masters onto the call. Let's get him on here.
You there, Chase?
Yes, indeed I am.
All right, welcome to the podcast, Chase. As we were just going over a little bit, we're going to be going over the band predictions, but just a few moments. But before we get into band predictions, let's let a little information out there for who you are. Obviously, they've been hearing us ramble for many weeks.
Yeah.
To introduce you, who is Chase Masters anyway?
Well, I'm Chase Twisters. I'm based out of Knoxville, Tennessee now. Used to be in Western Pennsylvania. I'm one half of Team Best Car with Adam Franzi.
Okay.
And I'm a Death and Taxes aficionado who has 2 GP top 8s, a couple open top 8s, and the highest open top 8 percentage with black, white Death and Taxes of any player.
That's sweet.
Yeah,
that's a funny metric to measure it on, but I believe it.
Yeah, I'm shocked that you wanted to join us for this episode. It's like, I don't know if you know the archetype known as taxes or not. You know.
I mean, I think people like to call it some creative names. Insert 4-letter word bears.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, for sure.
Oh yeah, and we'll get more into that kind of thing. Well, let's just jump in. There was an announcement that actually happened a few days ago.
Yeah.
Wizards decided to post. They'd be like, "Hey, we're gonna be doing some bands for the Modern, Pioneer, Pauper, and Historic format. So stay tuned Monday for our announcement after lunch."
Yep.
I mean, who knows? They might go to lunch at the Olive Garden again, get stuck eating the never-ending pasta the same way they did the first time they did that.
That one was so humorous. I don't know if you saw that, Steven.
I didn't.
You weren't on Twitter yet.
No.
So during the Pioneer band announcements, they would always go be like after lunch. Well, the first time they're like, it will be up after lunch, and it went hours.
I remember people getting really mad about that. Yeah, I remember that. That was funny.
Oh, it was so funny
because that was like the band, wasn't that like before the Envy or something? I can't remember exactly. Right after the Envy. Okay. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Because that's when they had to go ban like Copter and all that. Even though Copter I think was a horrible ban, but we don't need to really get too much. Well, it could be my prediction for an unbanning. It's not.
So we won't go very into detail with it, but I will at least say with Copter, at least their reasoning was they didn't ban it because it was overpowered. They banned it because they thought it made the format less diverse, which is probably why they're going to make bans in that format again, because it's gotten to the point where there's very little diversity in Pioneer. It's very obvious.
Look at the timestamp. 1 year ago or whatever. Most exciting format.
Oh, yeah, really exciting.
And then you fast forward to now, it's the most stalest format where it's not even popping off events on Moto here.
And to be fair, that was somewhat predictable, right? In a new format, new formats are always sweet because they haven't been solved yet, quote unquote.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, as soon as people start breaking it, like formats can get really stale really fast because only so many decks can compete with whatever that best deck is. And unfortunately, right now it's pretty much just a 2-deck race in that format too, honestly. Maybe a 3-deck if Lotus is there too, but it's pretty much just the mono white deck and Inverter, and honestly Inverter is probably better than the mono white deck. So Inverter is just like the best deck, so they will very likely hit something out of that deck, and hopefully more to not cause those other decks to become overpowered. But let's start talking about what our predictions
I'll start. So all the bands, I'll just do them in order.
Yeah.
Pauper, I think Ghostly Flicker goes.
Yeah.
Because I've been playing Delver. So when I do play Pauper, it's usually Delver or Burn Goblin style decks.
Okay.
Mostly it's been Delver because I like the card Brainstorm.
Yeah.
I played that Ghostly Flicker is so busting those decks for what it.
Oh yeah.
For the rest of the format, like it's a joke. I think it's about time it goes. It's just not. It's not a good card, that you can keep just redoing over and over again. Like, it's just too much.
Yeah.
They want to do too much on Pauper. I don't have any predictions on any unbans. Modern, I want an unban. It's about time we bring back Faithless Looting.
Other than the unban prediction, what's your ban prediction?
Hold on. That's a part of the ban announcement, is that they're unbanning looting.
Okay.
When Dredge isn't viable, we have to fix things.
I see.
But for ban-wise, I'm expecting Euro.
Okay.
I realistically think Euro's going to go.
Yep.
I think the card is just so powerful. And then you got the additional blue and green cards that's adapted alongside with it. I think it's just too much.
Yeah, that's fair.
There's just so much going on. I just think Euro's going to go. And it's going to help price-wise, too, for those that do need to play the card.
Yeah.
Modern, I realistically don't expect any unbannings.
No.
Even though I would love to have me a Faithless Looting unban. I don't know if they would ban anything else in Modern. I haven't been following good enough to really think anything else will get banned or unbanned. But I do expect Euro.
Okay.
That has been a common thing at the top. might
Yep.
bring them down check. I hear people were talking about Amletitan targets, but I haven't seen Amletitan put up much results myself. So
I think that's aggressive. I don't think that deck's going to get hit again yet, but I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah,
I haven't been paying a ton of attention to
Pioneer.
Modern in that regard either. So.
Pioneer, however, I do have ban predictions. I'm expecting them to ban Inverter Truth.
Yep.
I expect them to ban Lotus.
Okay.
Just the actual Lotus Field card.
Yep.
Just
Lotus
the end.
Field is stupid.
We're gonna
for
ban
sure.
Lotus Field, and I think they ban Thoughtseize.
Okay, that's
think-
very possible. I can see that.
Yeah. And then there is people were saying that Euro actually could be hit too.
Sure. Yeah, it's funny you bring that up because, like, we talked about Smuggler's Copter and we talked about the diversity thing. Every single black deck plays 4 Thoughtseize immediately. No questions asked. It's, like, probably the best card in Pioneer. It's maybe been the best card in Pioneer for its entire existence, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I could definitely see that.
And it would bring Sultai down a notch because Sultai's already such a... And that's another thing. Euro, I think, is just going to be so strong post-bans that I think they acted to try to open up the format again. They need to put in that creativity flow back into the format.
Okay.
And then was there any other... Historic. This one's I'm excited for.
Yeah.
I hands down think they're going to ban Wilderness Reclamation and Nexus.
Okay.
I don't think they're going to keep Nexus in, even though I think Wilderness Reclamation is the one they should hit.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be shocked if both are hit together.
Yeah.
And then I do honestly with Burning Tree.
Yeah.
Euro does not seem like a big issue to me right now in that format.
Yeah. We'll see as we go. Okay.
I'm not intrigued, but Field of Dead might be too good to have Euro.
Yeah.
I can't really determine that, but
Time
I
will
think
tell.
to start, Burning Tree, Reclamation, and Nexus.
Okay.
All 3 need to go.
Sure. All right, so we'll hop into my predictions now, and then we'll go to Chase. So yeah, Pauper. I never play Pauper. I don't know that much about Pauper, but from the articles I've read and the few things I've seen on it, Ghostly Flicker seems to be the consensus. So I guess that's what'll get banned there. I think Historic. Certainly, it's funny when I picked up Historic again, like right around when quarantine started, when I started playing with Chad with that mono white Yorion deck. I forgot Nexus was even still legal in Historic. I thought they had gotten rid of it because I just assumed that since it wasn't legal in Pioneer, it wouldn't have been legal in a format where it's almost equally as abusable. Yeah, I don't think that card really should have been legal as long as it has to begin with. So I'm very hopeful that they will get rid of it, and I think it is what they'll get rid of. As far as Gruul goes, they probably should hit something out of it. So Burning Tree is probably the most messed up card. They could hit Cleave too, but I think Burning Tree is the safe call. We'll see, though. I think Nexus for sure, and then all the other stuff is a maybe. Pioneer, I agree. I believe Inverter is like 100% going to get axed. That card's just a dumb card. It's not interesting at all, and now that there's a way to abuse it, it's just really stupid. So yeah, I think that one will go for sure. I think there's definitely an argument if you get rid of Inverter to then also get rid of Lotus Field and Walking Ballista to just get rid of the combo stuff out of the format so we don't have these mid-range decks that can play very Splinter Twin-esque styles of Magic. They get to play these fair mid-rangey games and then just kill you out of nowhere. And you always have to respect it, and that respect makes you play the game worse. And that's like, I remember reading articles at the time of Splinter Twin where just the threat of being comboed doesn't let you play well against the mid-range game, and then you lose to the mid-range side of the deck and not the combo. So it's just a really crappy thing, and I don't think Pioneer needs it. I think the format's going to be a lot more fun without it. I love the mono white deck, but you don't need an infinite combo. Like, just get it out of here and let's see what the format looks like after that. Thoughtseize, I don't think they'll get rid of yet, but it's certainly possible. I do agree that it is the best card in Pioneer and probably has been for the whole time. Yeah.
What's your thoughts on Modern?
Modern, I actually I forgot about this card because I haven't been playing a lot, but I was reading LSV's article and he said Astrolabe.
Astrolabe's actually going. I forgot about that. That was on my mind earlier.
Astrolabe should 100% go. That card is horrible.
No, it's actually a really good card.
It's horrible for the diversity of the format and just it. People joke about how it basically bans basics because if there's literally no reason to play your deck with normal basics anymore because you're giving away information, you can just play snow basics. So Yeah, no, Astrolabe's just so stupid. It just totally breaks color pie. You can pretty much do whatever you want, and that like the ability to just play 5 colors consistently is really messed up. And I would like to see that card go. I don't know if it will for sure, but I would like to see that go. And then Euro obviously is up there too. Euro does seem to be making quite an impact in Modern, so I could see that. But I think Astrolabe might be my top pick.
How
for a
about
card to go in
Eldrazi's
Modern.
Displacer? Should we just axe that too?
We'll be talking about Displacer more in the podcast
Yeah.
later, but that one won't get hit. I'm pretty sure.
Any unbanned thoughts? Any for Pioneer Modern?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think they tend to try
You
to
agree
avoid
that
unbans.
you agree that we should unban looting?
I do not think they will unban looting. No,
But you think they should though?
no, I don't think so. I would like the format to get more fair before it gets less fair, and I think when you
Looting is a fair
unban-
card. I have to discard too.
yeah,
That's a tax.
It is fair if you're not using it brokenly like Dredge and Phoenix, and when you find ways to abuse these cards, they become a lot less fair. Anyway, all right, let's hear your predictions, Chase. Those are ours.
Well, looking at Popper, I actually think they're going to hit 3 cards.
Okay.
As you've mentioned, Ghostly Flicker is a problematic card, but I think that Mystic Sanctuary creates the repetitive lines of play that are particularly an issue.
That makes sense. I forgot that was a common, honestly.
Yeah.
I
So.
also think they're going to ban Ephemerate. I think that
Oh,
Ephemerate
yeah.
falls into that
Which one does that
line
do
of
again?
cards where it provides too much value for one card, a recursive engine,
Yeah.
especially with Mnemonic Wall.
For those who don't know, Chase, can you remind us all of what Ephemerate does? I think I remember. Larry just asked, though, and I'm sure our listeners will wonder the same thing.
It is a single white for an instant from Modern Horizons, and it
Yep.
says, exile target creature you control, then return it to the battlefield under its owner's control. And it has rebound.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they played that in the Modern.
So you can ephemerate something for value, and then ephemerate your mnemonic wall to buy back your ephemerate.
That was a
Yeah.
common.
Yeah, it was a common, and it's seen a little bit of play in Modern, specifically the Soul Herder
Yeah, the
deck.
Soul Herd deck.
Yeah.
That's how I know what that card does now. Yeah, that card is a common. That card was busted, bro.
It's really powerful.
Like,
really, really
it's a
powerful.
powerful magic.
Yeah.
Who would think those flickering creatures is good?
For 1 mana at instant speed.
Into a deck in Pioneer because of Astrolabe before Astrolabe got hit,
Mm-hmm.
because it was just too powerful.
Yeah. Yep.
Then moving towards the historic, I think that they're going to hit Nexus of Fate and Llanowar Elves.
Okay.
I think that Llanowar Elves is far and away the more powerful card and really the most busted card that Gruul can open on one.
Sure.
Didn't think about Landor. That makes a lot of sense.
You know, it's just got ubiquity in the green decks,
Mhm.
so it's problematic there.
Yeah.
Then there's Pioneer. I believe that they're going to ban Inverter of Truth and Euro Titan of Nature's Wrath. I think that Uro presents a problem where it is both ramp and then it solves your sort of ramp syndrome where either you have too much ramp or too many threats, and it's just both in one card.
Yep.
And then I actually believe that they're going to unban Smuggler's Copter and maybe Nexus of Fate in an effort to sort of force the format to be more fair. So actually Nexus of Fate, I think, provides a policing presence in Pioneer. You've seen the success of these burn decks. Obviously, they dropped off a bit after the sort of errata to Companion. However, the burn decks are extremely successful. They're quite good against the Lotus Field decks.
Uh-huh.
And by putting Nexus in, it provides a combo option, but one that has lots of very real costs to playing it.
Uh-huh.
In that you scoop a lot of your red matchups and your mono black matchup. Again, your mono black matchup, if the mono black decks want to beat you, it's almost an unbeatable situation for them. They put in Kai'Sail Freebooters, they've got Thought Seizes, Duresses,
Yeah.
Agonizing Remorse as well. And you simply can't beat their clock.
Uh-huh. Yeah, okay.
Yep, I played the mono black at the PT. I know the power of that deck.
Yep, for sure.
And I mean, at PT Phoenix, I actually showed up with mono red. I was playing 73 of 75 that Zach Keeney was playing that got him to the top 8. however, only played against Inverter of Truth once. So I knew that I was in for a bumpy ride in Pioneer when my first matchup after the draft, where I lost playing for the trophy against Andy Beckstrom, is going to be a rough ride for me because my first match was against Mono Black Vampires, and I had to get their sword up to 11 against me.
Yeah, that's not a matchup. That was like the reason to play the Vampires list
Yeah.
was to beat the aggro list.
Like,
so.
I know there's vampire players around me at the PT, and I talked to them afterwards, trying to get an idea of where they came up when they were like, oh, just for the red matchups they didn't want to fold.
And going bigger in the mono black mirror was super
I think
good.
vampires was so favored in the mirror.
Yeah.
No question. Only could be James.
I actually think they're going to ban a lot of cards in Modern, and I do believe that there will be one unbanned.
Okay.
Okay, what are those?
I think they're going to ban Uro, Teferi, Astrolabe, and Mystic Sanctuary.
To be fair, what Teferi, just so in case nobody really knows.
Teferi Time Raveler.
All right. I was assuming it was that one.
Yeah.
Seemed like a good pick.
Yeah, it's a real bummer to me they haven't axed that card in any format yet, because that card is so stupid.
fair.
It's so ridiculous. Like, that card just shouldn't exist. I agree it should be banned. I don't know that it will be, but I definitely think it's a smart ban. They should have banned it in multiple formats already. So,
my perspective on cards that should be banned in Modern, I think that Primeval Titan belongs on that list.
yeah, I agree.
That card is busted.
Banned the card Birthing Pod because of design constraint concerns.
Yeah.
Where they wanted to continue to print good creatures, and the value game of the Birthing Pod deck was too inherently powerful. You're seeing that same mid-range plan become accessible to the Primeval Titan decks, with all of them now playing Field of the Dead.
Yep.
And then I believe actually that in Modern they're going to ban with these bans they're going to unban Krark Clan Ironworks.
Oh, that'd be interesting. Holy.
There's no Mox Opal. They're banning Astrolabe, the best artifact that they've printed that would help it recently.
That's fair. I forgot Opal's gone now. So actually, you could bring back Krark Clan maybe.
Widespread success of Burn, which was one of, if not the hardest matchup for the KCI deck.
Uh-huh.
So that sort of store of things indicates to me that KCI would not actually be as good as it was before.
Oh, for sure.
And I believe it fulfills some of that niche Johnny combo player, ridiculous, I'm going to try and build this thing that works some of the time situation.
Yep. Yeah, no, I remember...
The same loops. I mean, the Spine of Ishsa allows you to, if you get 2 Scrap Trawlers, get all of the same loops that you had before Mox Opal got banned, effectively, but without an actual Black Lotus in your deck, it's really hard.
Yeah.
And with Teferi being banned out, they don't have the inherent protection that they would, because Teferi would just slot into that deck.
Oh, easily. Yeah, very easily.
No question.
Yeah, that makes sense to me, for sure.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. I know Red does have a good matchup because, I played Red during that. I almost saw him top 8 the first NRG event I went to because I kept running into KCI.
Nice, yeah.
Red burn decks are just typically good. So, who knows if that deck will be good, but if anybody could break it, we know there's some players out there to do it. So
Yeah. I mean, Piotr Glogowski and Canister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Specifically.
Yeah, it's specific.
Yeah.
I heard...
who was the Matt Nass? Matt Nass was, 90% win rate or something insane?
Oh, that's
with
wild.
that deck? Yeah, his win rate was ridiculous. He top-8'd 4 GPs in a row.
Yeah. In that format, obviously, Lave is a horrible color pipe ranking creation.
Yeah.
And Mystic Sanctuary creates some of the most unfun and most repetitive gameplay, I think, much the same way that Uro does.
Yeah.
And they want to continue to print good creatures. They want to continue to print good spells. You can't have things that are just going to be good with anything.
Yeah.
Which is what both Uro and Astrolabe are. And then Mystic Sanctuary is good in every blue deck.
Yeah. Exactly what you're saying is really, I think kind of it's the problem with Magic across multiple formats right now is that these the big combo-y / ramp decks don't have any misses because all their cards are just so free to play. Uro. Euro's free, replaces itself, and then later becomes a threat and then puts you up on cards and gains you life. Growth Spiral is basically free. It's like, back in the day, like, people thought Farseek was too good, and now we're just drawing a card and still hitting that land, but at the end of the game, it's just actually another card, feeds our Euros. Yeah, no, for sure. I definitely agree with what you're saying.
Again, looking back at Historic, I think that they're going to ban Nexus, though I think the good ban would actually be Uro. I think that Uro would be a ban that solves more problems.
Yeah, it's very possible.
I don't think it solves Nexus at all, though.
Is a card that is so unfun to lose to that I think it gets a worse rap of having dominance that it actually has.
Yeah.
If you look at particularly the winner of the Lotus Box Invitational, he was playing Band Nexus, and his plan in the mirror was actually to board out 3 of his 4 Nexuses.
Yep. Which has been a plan I've encountered multiple times with some Nexus players, is that kind of strategy, and I think it's a really good plan. But anyway.
Yeah, we didn't do that and win the mirrors, but maybe we just got lucky.
And I think people don't like playing against Nexus because they feel like, 1, they're obligated to continue playing, and 2, they're obligated to continue playing despite it being a relatively hopeless situation.
Sure.
It's not, like Splinter Twin where your opponent plays it and you just die. It's something where they do have a chance to whiff, even though it's, after about the 4th iteration of the loop, incredibly unlikely.
Yeah. Yep.
And, I think there's a lack of creativity that people want to put out towards being able to beat things like that, because they would much rather just be vocal on Twitter.
Yeah, Larry.
I wrote a whole article on how I hate bans.
Larry would love to.
Oh, buddy.
No, Larry agrees with you for sure. Larry's constantly
talking
to me about how people are always, so many people want to whine before
they were again whining the first day of M21, and
Yeah.
I'm like, guys, Teferi should not be banned.
Yeah.
Calm down.
Yeah. I mean, wait a minute. Yeah, no, people get frustrated, and people don't want to brew new decks and try new things.
Specifically in that format, is that it has made Nexus look even worse, because it provided Nexus with a reasonable clock that continues to give them a stream of cards.
Yeah.
And then it provides them with that life buffer that removes their inherent awful positioning against any of the aggressive decks.
Yep. Or mid-range, too. I mean, Euro's just so insane. Euro's unbelievable,
I
man.
actually think that Nexus of Fate would be like a good present, because I think that the sort of everybody plays some variation of a mid-range game with some amount of mid-range arms racing going on in the deck construction is actually, inherently a flaw of current Magic design, where every card is worth a little bit more than one card most of the time.
Yeah.
And I think that trying to shift the game to a place where, mid-range is a viable and good option, but you have reasonable grounds to be able to say, all right, well, I'll be able to make this game low resource by killing you quickly.
Yeah.
Or I'll be able to make this game low resource by playing cards like Thoughtseize and Liliana of the Veil and trying to grind you out and then have an old-fashioned top deck war.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, is like a horrible place to be in Magic. You shouldn't do that. Jund isn't a very good deck right now.
Yeah.
It gets played because people like the cards. But inherently, when every deck can play some iteration of that mid-range game where all their cards are going to allow them to cascade card advantage,
Yep.
you just shouldn't try and play low resource Magic in any way other than getting your opponent dead as quickly as possible.
Yep. No, I
actually think that
agree.
decks like Lotus Field and Nexus of Fate exist as like police in the other direction, where they just go far and above over the top of anything that you're doing, and make it so that you can't just play the thing that's 1/2 step slower than what your opponent's doing.
That's fair. Yeah.
But, that's all good points. I'll be excited to read the article Monday after their lunch break.
Yep.
But no, the move on.
7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah.
7 p.m., 9 p.m. the next day. Who knows? But today we're here to talk about some mono white and taxes. Particularly, we're going to be mostly talking about some archetype called taxes. So, Chase, why don't you go ahead and give us a little rundown on the taxes archetype?
Well, Death and Taxes is a moniker applied to White Weenie or White Weenie-based strategies that are disruptive aggro that can play a particularly controlling role, having advantage represented on the board in permanence, as opposed to being cards in hand, as you would see traditionally with a Drago blue style control deck.
Right.
And it varies on a spectrum
Yeah, so you're talking about like the Simian Spirit Guide, Gemstone. Yep.
Okay.
There are a bunch of different cores that you can slot into these various archetypes of taxes,
Oh yeah.
ranging from the traditional mono white build, which was focused on using cards like Restoration Angel in combination with Blade Splicers, Flicker Wisp, and then having disruptive 2-drops like Leonin Arbiter and Thalia, Guardian of Thraben.
Yep.
And that's looking towards modern.
Yep.
And then you have the Eldrazi core, which utilizes Thought-Knot Seer, Eldrazi Displacer, and Eldrazi Temple, which is the most busted of the 3 cards.
Yep.
Then you have recently added to modern, mainstay and legacy, the Stoneforge Mystic package. Stoneforge Mystic, obviously, is a bit grindier, seeks to actually have a plan to be able to play games, providing a recursive threat that just costs 5 mana in each iteration and is effectively able to eat your opponent's removal spells in a Banner Skull.
Yep.
Something that's effectively unreasonable. Then you have the Processor package, which is the black half of the black-white Death and Taxes. These are cards like Wasteland Strangler and Tide Hollow Sculler.
Yep.
There's the Spooky package, which Craig Westco played at the World Championship a couple of years ago.
Yep.
Which is the Spirits package of Mausoleum Wanderer, Rattle Chains, Selfless Spirit, and Spell Queller.
Yep.
Then you have the Wiltleaf Liege, Knight of Autumn, Lockstone Smiter, Aggressive Green-White package. This is one that seeks to utilize mismatches against specifically cards like Liliana the Veil. You saw this actually get slotted into a Little Kid Abzan deck by Jacob Wilson at Pro Tour Born of the Gods.
Yep.
And then Craig Westco top-aided GP Pittsburgh later that year with the same kind of Wiltleaf Liege, Knight of Autumn, Lockstone Smiter deck with Matt Sperling performing similarly with a very similar build.
Yeah.
Then there's the Collected Company, green builds, and there's sort of 2 schools. Again, they can go down the Knight of Autumn, Lockstone Smiter route, or they can play an Eternal Witness package. Eternal Witness will want to play more cards like Flicker Wisp, and the green-white deck is leveraging Noble Hierarch, the best mana dork in the format.
Yep.
Then there's red-white Death and Taxes. There's sort of 2 ways to build the red-white core. One of them is to utilize Mix of the Moon and try to lock your opponent out of playing the game.
Yep.
You see that one more in Legacy as well.
Yep, for sure.
And then there's the one that's trying to get enters the battlefield value from cards like Pia and Kieran Nalar and Avalanche Riders.
Yep.
Then there's the Teferi package, Teferi Time Raveler, that is. And you pair Teferi Time Raveler alongside Spell Queller to get a tremendous amount of value.
Yep.
And then the newest of the packages is Luris. And this is a main deck package primarily, though some players, I think Ross Mary released a video where he had a red-white Luris build.
I think I saw that.
Very recently. And Luris is just trying to leverage, at least initially it was leveraging Mox Amber and trying to be more of a turbo tax.
I see.
Clock on my opponent and keep them from playing the game.
Yeah.
Whereas currently iterations that include Luris are using Luris as a grind out mechanism.
Yep.
And they're playing things, if they're red-white, they're playing Seal of Fire and Goblin Crater Maker. Whereas if they're playing black-white or blue-white, you're looking more at like Selfless Spirits or various little value 2-drops, things that you're happy to sacrifice, Selfless Spirit, or maybe Selfless Protector, the new dog from M21.
Yep. Selfless Savior.
Yep.
Selfless Savior, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that card's sweet.
That card's awesome.
Yeah, very cool. Very cool.
Do we want to segue into the difference between modern and legacy decks?
Yeah. Just keep
What
talking,
is the big
man,
difference in? Here's a question that I know when I started going to my competitive tournament, I was hearing this thing called hate bears.
Yeah.
What's the difference between hate bears and taxes? I thought they're the same thing.
Well, when I hear the word hate bears, I specifically get the mental picture of green-white dozen taxes in modern. It's a deck that's using cards like Scavenging Ooze, Leonin Arbiter, Thalia, Guardian of Thraben, Gadok T,
Yep, Gaddock Teague for
and
sure.
Quasali Pride Mage.
Yep.
Okay.
With the exception of Thalia, those are all 2-mana cards that are 2/2s and have some sort of targeted hate effect.
Yep.
Leonin Arbiter stops searching. Quasali Pride Mage good against artifacts and enchantments. Gaddock Teague very good against cards like Cryptic Commander at the time, Splinter Twin.
Yeah, Supreme Verdict, things like that.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And
So
more
good.
recently, Hate Bear has been taken to mean builds that are aggressively slanted rather than value-oriented.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Hate Bear's a more aggressive version of the kind of lockdown white plan that you try.
Yeah, more 2-drops.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
not really even lockdown white. It is much more 2-drop speed bump plus trying to kill you on turn 5.
Yeah.
That's the main goal. And
Okay.
part of how they do that is utilize Noble Hierarch to create a mana advantage.
Yep.
And, you go turn 1 Noble Hierarch or turn 1 Ether Vial, and you're going to be at least 4 mana ahead of your opponent through the first 4 turns of the game.
Yeah.
And on turn 2, if you go Noble Hierarch on 1, you can play Leonin Arbiter and then use Ghost Quarter to strip mine your opponent's land, which is one of the most powerful starts in the format.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Getting rid of people's lands. That's always been a fun little. If this was Xbox, it'd give us that nice little achievement. Like,
you blew
You
up
have
your
officially
opponent's
made your opponent unhappy.
Yeah, you strip mined your opponent in Modern.
I think
Congratulations.
the biggest BM is that you have to ask your opponent if they would like to search when you have a Leonin Arbiter in play.
Yeah, that is a BM. Yep.
You have to offer them to search, and you're like, I'm sorry, I have to ask you if you would like to search for this Path of Exile.
That's funny.
I assume you won't pay the tip.
Now, I know you're tapped out, but I still have to ask.
That's hilarious. I didn't do that to
I'm
people
sure
when
you
I
would
played.
like to search, but you're not allowed to.
Yes, I just wanted to remind you of what's happening currently on this battlefield.
Yeah, that's brutal.
That is such a rubbing.
It's so funny. Yeah, I never did.
Worst
I
part,
never
though,
did.
is, like, if you don't do it, somebody might try to shark you and get you a game loss.
That's
Yeah,
for
game
sure.
loss. People try to get down like on food tokens.
Yeah. I remember pretty recent at an SCG shortly after they changed the path rule. Me and my opponent both knew they did not have another basic in their deck, but there was a judge watching our match. I pathed their thing, and we're trying to move quick because we were close to time. And then my judge is like, "I'm gonna have to give you a warning." I'm like, "Why?" And they're like, "Because you didn't ask them to search." I'm like, "I know they don't have another basic. They know they don't have another basic. Why is this a warning? This doesn't make any sense." And then they explained that situation. But
Yeah, it's they have to give those out because if not, people will try to
I
take
know
it
why
out.
they do it.
Yeah, there's
It pisses me
unfortunately
off, but I
there's
get it.
people out there that doesn't want to play for the
fair.
fun and
There's people
fairness,
out
you
there,
know.
for sure.
Such is life.
Yeah.
Also, that actually brings up one of the things that I like to talk about with the taxes deck.
Yep.
It is important always to be kind and fair and nice to your opponents at whatever Madden tournament you go to.
Of course.
And then if you are playing this taxes deck and you go Leonin Arbiter, you know what this does. If they say yes, and then they fetch into your Leonin Arbiter, there is no problem with you pointing to your Leonin Arbiter and saying, okay, you take one.
Yep, and they don't get the land because they did not pay before fetching, which is what you have to do, pretty much.
Now, they can say, crack fetch pay 2.
Yeah.
If it's all one block of a statement, that's absolutely fine.
Yep.
But people who want to pay afterwards or make you remind them, that is such an abusable thing where if you don't catch it, it's got to go both ways.
Yep, for sure.
Is that static or triggered?
Static.
It is a static ability.
Okay.
It's considered to be a special ability to pay for it.
Yeah, static. You can't ignore it. You can't try to get it missed.
Pay for your Leonin Arbiter, fetch, and then you have the ability to blink your Leonin Arbiter in response to the fetch.
Yep.
They would have to pay again.
Yep, I've done that to people for sure. It's always a fun one. Blink it with Displacer or Resto Angelet. Good times. Opponents don't enjoy when that happens because usually they don't know how it works.
Oh, I've had it happen to me. It's a little saltiness. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
It's a rough feeling.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm Displacer. Especially if you don't run into Flicker Wisp or anything in your Magic career, and then you play against this deck the first time.
Yeah.
Talk about a deck that will give you the feel bads.
No, I mean, I just love to terrorize my opponent. After
Yep.
I know that for the rest of that match, I'm going to be able to leave my pile on 3 and absolutely terrorize them.
Yeah.
That I might be able to put onto the field.
Yep,
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure.
It's such a nasty combo, Taito, Scarlet, all that. Ugh.
Yeah, Vile's a very busted card as well.
As a
Speaking of
former
busted
Fish
cards.
player, I agree.
Yeah, Vile is incredible.
It's basically a one-mana ritual that can get you, sometimes upwards of 10 mana throughout the course of a game.
Yeah, and then turns your threats into instant speed. Yeah, it's wild how good it is, for sure. It's absurdly powerful.
Similarly with the new London Mulligan, that you were already incentivized to mulligan to Ether Vial, with one of the concerns being that, well, you might draw 2 Ether Vials in that opening hand.
Yep.
Now you can just bottom the second Ether Vial.
Yep, it's really nice. Yep. Yeah, I've only played a little bit of Tax's variants since the London Mulligan rule was introduced, but yeah, I noticed the difference right away. It's really nice, very ridiculous.
Looking at the difference now between modern and legacy taxes, I think, as Larry was talking about hate bears, for a long time, modern taxes was simply a hate bears deck. There weren't enough good disruptive pieces or value pieces for you to try and play an extended game.
Yeah.
And legacy taxes has pretty much always been a mono white control deck, leveraging the power of Mother of Runes and Ether Vial as good one-drops, having the best removal spell in the format in Swords to Plowshares, and then having the ability to do things, looking way back, Mangara of Karandor and Karakas was one of the most powerful control things that you could do in all of Legacy.
Yep.
Vindicate 1 permanent every turn, effectively.
Yep.
Well, I guess utter end permanent, because it did effectively come for 4 mana.
Yep, for sure.
And then you have Rishadenport and Wasteland, which are mana denial. And I think that's the most misunderstood part of the deck.
Yep.
You're constantly faced with decisions early in the game about whether or not to play a card like Dahlia or Stoneforge Mystic.
Right.
Or to spend your turn denying your opponent the ability to play any spells of their own.
Yep, for sure.
And, there are important interactions to learn, like, if you have 2 Rishaden ports, you should port your opponent once in their upkeep and once in their draw step, so that they don't have 2 mana that would just be free-floating in either of those 2 phases.
Yep, absolutely, for sure.
And, Legacy Death and Taxes, I think, without question, has the highest degree of inevitability of any of the decks in the format. Having access to cards like Containment Priest out of the board that they can use their Flicker Wisp to get extra value, but in the main deck, more importantly, they have Palace Jailer, which gives you the Monarch, and then they have Flicker Wisp plus Recruiter the Guard, which can just get you.
Oh yeah, that card's so good.
Or pseudo infinite amounts of value.
Yep.
Deck is just like a good value train. Of course, it's Legacy, so it has a few more tools, obviously. I've played a lot of the mono white, Death and Taxes deck. Getting my buddy ready for Niagara, and he's playing Storm, and I would just bollywop him every game. The deck just felt so good.
Yeah.
It's one of those decks that requires you to understand your positioning and your matchup extremely well, and be able to convince your opponent of having the wrong positioning in the matchup. I like to say, in the Storm matchup in Legacy, Death and Taxes versus Storm, I would much rather bring a loaded die than a sideboard to those matches.
Yeah.
Because if you can play on turn 2 a Thalia or a Phyrexian Revoker, you're going to win the game.
Yep.
And if you lose the die roll, the fact that you have Thalia and Phyrexian Revoker doesn't necessarily matter unless you have Ancient Tomb and can on turn 1 play Phyrexian Revoker, because your opponent's just going to kill you on turn 2 anyways.
Yep, for sure.
Sometimes you get killed on turn 1.
Deafening Silence, swung that match to being nearly unlosable.
Yep, that makes sense.
Yeah, Deafening Silence, huge card.
Yeah.
Legacy, obviously, just so powerful because of the card edition.
Yep.
Modern sweet too, though. Like I said, I just actually the last time I played it was in Chicago at one of the NRG events. The weekend they did regionals there. I just remember I ended up playing against Texas. It was the first day I actually played Dredge ever.
That's fun.
Played against it, and I got straight volleywopped. Everybody was like, that matchup's unlosable. I was like, but how? They have like 1,000,002 hate pieces.
Yeah, it really depends on the build of the
Like I
Texas
said, I'm
list.
comfortable now. Like I think if I played against it, it'd be a good match.
There are so many people who are extremely confident in their Texas matchups, and Paul Muller is somebody who I like to highlight as being extremely confident in his matchup as a Storm player against the Texas decks.
Yeah.
He's just he's a very confident player in general, which is not a bad thing.
He's a very competent combo player. He's somebody who's extremely good at navigating games.
Yep.
But there are a lot of people who like to say, oh, well, Leonard is really bad against any good player. Or, Thalia, they can just kill it or they can just play another cost reducer. And all of that is true. But your opponent, then again, is also facing down all of the soft lock pieces at once. They're not telling you that one Leonard Arbiter wins the game against your Titan Ship deck.
Right.
They're not telling you that one Thalia wins the game against your Storm deck.
Right.
I'm saying that the pile of cards that I brought, especially with the white sideboard cards, which in every format are the best sideboard cards, are going to really put a squeeze on you. Stony Silence used to be lights out against Affinity.
Yep, absolutely.
Oh, easily.
Thin Piece still effectively is lights out against Dredge.
Yeah.
Even sometimes when they do have the ability to remove it.
Yep, absolutely. And one thing, too, that I think a lot of people don't take into consideration is, especially in Modern, like, how many good, like, very good Death and Taxes pilots have you tested your deck against? The answer is probably a very small number. Because there are not many very good Death and Taxes players in Modern specifically. Because A, it's not an archetype that gets played much anyway, and B, it's still like an incredibly difficult deck to pilot. And I found it interesting. You were talking earlier about the in Legacy how you have like the Rashidin port decisions to make. You have similar decisions to that in Modern where the games, especially where you don't have Bile, and even some where you do have Bile, when are you supposed to go for the Ghost Quarter line? Because it's not always right to just strip mine your opponent right away, because sometimes strip mining your opponent right away can lead to you not developing yourself,
Especially if you're playing the Eldrazi variant.
Oh yeah, absolutely, because your mana is so important in that deck.
Yep.
Especially, like you said, the colorless sources. And I think that's a mistake that a lot of people especially people who like just pick up the deck, they're just so excited to go for that Lean and Arbiter strip mine play, man. Everyone just wants to do it right away. And I think a good like 30 to 40% of the time, it's not even correct to fire it off right away. Like you need to wait and find your spot sometimes.
Really?
When I was playing the deck, I found that to be a thing.
I think the most important example of that line is actually when you have a turn 1 Ether Vial, and then on turn 2, you have the option of playing Leonard Arbiter or Thalia.
Right.
You're like pretty universally supposed to just play the Thalia on turn 2.
Yep.
Because vialing in the Arbiter, 1, increases the chances that your opponent spends mana and then would naturally have to fetch.
Yes.
But 2, the fact that you put out the Thalia means that the amount of mana your opponent's going to have to spend in the first place before they do anything is much higher.
Yes.
And then looking at ghost courting your opponents, all of the Death and Taxes decks historically have been do your homework, know the meta better than anybody else in the ring kind of deck.
Yep. Absolutely.
You need to know what tools your opponent has, because many of your cards, people like to say, oh, here's a pile of bad white cards.
Yeah.
Well, the simple fact is they're bad white cards in a vacuum.
Yeah.
Sometimes, drawing a Leonard Arbiter on turn 5 or 6 is pretty unimpressive most of the time.
Yep.
But when you know how to line up your cards and what things maybe you have to save your Path to Exile for, whether you have to sandbag your Wasteland Strangler until you can draw a Flicker Wisp.
Yeah.
Things of that nature. It's just so important to understand your positioning. Who's the beatdown could not be a more relevant article to any deck other than this but
Yeah.
if you miss your window, you're probably never winning the game.
Mm-hmm. Yep, absolutely. A deck that when I was playing it, it was definitely the part of the reason it's so fun to play is I generally felt like almost all of my losses I could have made some different decisions that may have led to me winning, more so than like any other deck I've ever played, and I think that's fun and enjoyable Magic. When I feel like I'm learning from like literally every single game I play, and I thought that was really fun. So
I feel like to stack on to that, the losses with deaths and taxes fall into sort of three categories.
yeah,
Very few of the death and taxes decks anymore have matchups where you just like get paired against them and you're stone cold dead. I mean, elves, the black-white deck has some slim chance now because it access cards like either.
yeah. Elves when I was playing mono white was definitely like the oh boy matchup.
Basically unwinnable.
Yeah.
And other than that, your matchups fall into one of two categories. Either you're playing against a deck where your disruption, if you win the die roll, you almost certainly can navigate all of the hands that you had into a winnable scenario.
Yeah.
Not necessarily a win, but a winnable scenario.
Yeah.
And then you have the matchups where you probably made a mistake, and this is one of those decks where it is much better to have one public mistake than two private ones.
Yep.
Or private ones. And you really get punished on Magic Online playing this deck because of the amount of time that it takes to click through all of the interactions.
Yep, absolutely. I remember that
But,
too.
even worse than that is you don't really want to pass priority, so this is a much easier deck to play on paper.
Yes.
You don't really want to spend a lot of time passing priority.
Yep.
But you also have to know when to try and put the fear of God into your opponent when you have nothing, and when to play fish when you have it all.
Yep.
Because this is a deck that, frequently you're playing from ahead, which is a really tough place to play in Magic, especially given the power of all the cards today.
Yep.
But when you're playing from behind, you need to have your opponent not know what you're doing.
Yep, for sure. I agree with that, definitely. Yep.
So yeah, modern again, more aggressive by a lot than
Yep.
Legacy. I look at the black-white Eldrazi and Taxes deck, and I say, what is my fail state with this deck? Well, I'm playing Watch Wolves and Forerunner of Slaughters.
Yeah.
Or rather, Scrapping Scroungers, realistically.
Yeah.
Watch Wolves and Scrapping Scroungers. And that with Path to Exile is still a pretty good place to be.
Yep. No, it is, for sure.
Buy slightly better attacks with Flicker Wisp temporarily. But at the end of the day, you're just playing a deck full of small creatures, and it can get massive snowball value that goes above and beyond what anything else in the format can do, where you can literally eat all of your opponent's permanents.
Yep.
Or you can be playing a deck that, here's your 2-mana 2/2 on turn 5, and you're doing nothing. And it's about knowing when to mulligan aggressively.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, with cards like Aether Vial, you can just recover from, like, you talked about how it gives you so much mana. Sometimes it can give you, like, 10 mana in a game. There are a lot of hands with D&T.
One land, one Aether Vial.
Exactly. Yep.
Eldrazi Displacer, Tide Hollow Scholar Hand. Let's assume that one land I was lucky
Is a temple.
was an Eldrazi temple.
Yep.
If I draw on turn 2 a Concealed Courtyard or a Silent Clearing,
Yep.
I have the most powerful start that the deck can produce, which is
Yeah.
turn 1 Vial, turn 2 Displacer, turn 3 in your draw step, put in a Sculler and blink it.
Yep. You have everything you need at that point, and it's just so good. Like, you can mulligan to like 5, and that hand is still going to be pretty solid. You can get a lot of value, you can do a lot of things, and you can catch up really quickly because of the power of Aether Vial and Displacer, and then just like even something as simple as a Wasteland Strangler.
Sometimes you gotta get scrappy and understand that you're in a bad enough spot that you have to do something crazy. Like, you have a Vial on 3, and your only card in the hand is to Flicker Wisp. So you say, alright, well, in my opponent's end step, I'm gonna Vial in this Flicker Wisp and flicker out their Goyf, or whatever.
Yeah.
And hope that I so that I can eat it.
Yep, that's fair. And I don't have the most experience playing with the Wasteland Strangler versions, but yeah, that definitely seems like a really, really good line. And yeah, sometimes you just have to go for plays like that when you're playing Magic. Like I remember when I was playing the modern Lotus Box event with Boggles, I knew my opponent had the one mana counter Stubborn Nile in their hand, and they only had 1 mana up. So I end step went for a path on their guy. It was the last card in my hand, and I knew that they would counter it, obviously, or I assumed they would, because it was their only threat in play. And if I top deck Spirit Mantle or Daybreak, they were just like snap going to lose the game. And then I did top deck one of those cards, and they did lose the game pretty badly from there. But yeah, I mean, sometimes you just like need to do stuff like that, and I think a lot of players, that's something that's a difficult play to make, and I think the Death and Taxes decks really lend themselves to a lot of decisions like that.
Yeah, no, because it's a control aspect style deck.
Yeah.
So in control, you have to think about those things. Sometimes you got to think. So now let's imagine Texas where you're thinking turns ahead on your lines and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I know with control I do that, so I would imagine it's similar.
It is, yeah.
I mean, I'll tell you the craziest match that I ever played in terms of planning out turns ahead. I was playing on IQ in Northern Virginia, Victory Comics, up there in Fairfax.
Yeah.
And I'm playing my black-white Taxes deck, which I, love so very, very much. And I'm playing against a black-white Eldrazi deck, so this guy's got Dark Confidants.
Sure.
And
Yep.
Relic of Progenitus.
Yep.
Reality Snatchers. Things like that.
Yep.
And I'm going into game 3 after a very long match, and I'm like, wait, in game 2 I saw a resto out of this guy, so now I have to play around this resto.
Yeah, yep.
And my friends Nico Delvai and Ben Reagan, both great Magic players, walk up behind me, and they see me take a mulligan to 5 in this game. It's really not looking good. They take a look at my opponent's hand. He's got like Thoughtseize, Dark Confidant, Thought Seer, and a Reality Smasher as his grip. And
Yeah, that's a very good hand. So yeah, at face value, it seemed like you're going to lose this game already.
If I don't come up with some way to really start recouping cards.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
I get lucky and I rip a Displacer after he Thoughtseize me that I can get in under that Thought Seer.
That's nice. Yep, it's huge.
Yeah.
And once I have the Displacer, I'm just hoping that I can top deck a Flicker Wisp so that I can start blinking and protecting my things.
Yeah. Yep.
And I ended up having to plan 11 turns ahead because I know that my opponent has at least like Reality Smasher, and I've seen his hand twice from a Tidehall Sculler and then a Thought Seer that I had just drawn in this sequence.
Mm-hmm.
So we're kind of in a stalemate, but he's attacking me slowly to death with this resto that he played. And I don't draw a Wasteland Strangler for like many of these turns, and I realized that by about turn 8 of this 11-turn plan, I had to draw a Wasteland Strangler.
Yep.
Otherwise, I was going to lose.
Yep.
So I was having combats where he was attacking with, 5 creatures, and I would have to go block, blink the Flicker Wisp, blink out one of your attackers, blink the Flicker Wisp, blink out another one of your attackers, blink the Flicker Wisp to blink my Eldrazi Displacer that I put in front of your Thought Seer.
Yep.
And I was very lucky that I was able to spend all this mana. And, I eventually ended up drawing that Wasteland Strangler and being able to slowly eat all of his permanents, but it was like another 4 turns after that of combat where I'm making, several blocks, and I have to go blink Flicker Wisp, blink out your creature, blink Flicker Wisp, target Displacer with that on the stack, blink the Strangler to eat your other thing and kill one of your creatures.
Yep. I remember having very similar patterns to what you're describing would come up when I was playing the mono white Displacer version. Obviously, I didn't have the Strangler to draw to, but against humans specifically, there were tons of times where you would like have really interesting like combats where they'd be attacking with like 3 Manus Riders or whatever, and you like block with a Wisp, and then block whatever they had on the ground, and then blink the Wisp to wisp out an image to kill the image, and then like blink out the Wisp again to blink out the other Manus Rider, and then like the last blink would be like a Blade Splicer to get another 3/3 to like continue to progress the value on the board type of stuff.
I mean, a 12-3 at an open that I got so phenomenally lucky that one of my opponents didn't recognize an interaction that was sitting on the board that they could do, and I had to win this game by banking on them not knowing this interaction.
Yeah.
But I had a Flicker Wisp, Thought Nazir, a Wasteland Strangler, and Eldrazi Displacer in play, and my opponent revealed their hand to the Thought Nazir and showed me Mantis Strider triple Phantasmal Image.
Yep.
My board was toast if I hadn't gotten extremely lucky, because they could just make a Flicker Wisp, and then they could make a Strangler, and they could kill 3 of my things. But they ended up deciding to make Thought Nazirs, even though I had no cards in hand, so I just ended up drawing a bunch of cards, and this was in a win it in to day 2.
Yeah.
So I went from, should be out of the tournament to able to play myself into a situation where I get to play for 12-3.
Yep.
And then I ended up, winning that match for 12-3, got 10th placed. Both 9th and 10th were, out to four places after the decimal for the difference in tiebreakers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That was like a
always
2,200 player SCG or something like
always
that.
Annoying, yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, was that the same one I top 8'd, Chase? With Mono White?
Dylan Donegan in it?
Yeah, he top 8'd. He did. Yeah, he top 8'd with Death Shadow, I believe.
Death Shadow, and then Will Pulliam with Eldrazi Tron.
Correct. Yeah, I played Will again in top 8.
Jimmy Mang is also top 8 at that one.
Yep. Yeah, no, I remember that because we were doing a lot of talking between rounds about our Taxes decks and whatnot. But yep.
Well, do we want to move on to when I was crazy enough to take this deck to the PT?
Oh yeah, absolutely, dude. Yeah, let's hear about the PT. That sounds sweet.
Yeah, for real.
Well, so I had horrible food poisoning
Oh.
on day 1 of Grand Prix New Jersey last year.
Okay.
So it was January, really cold, drove through the snow to get there, and the night before I had some beef merlot, and I got really bad food poisoning.
Okay.
So I was feeling like death, but the 2 guys I drove with had no buys, so I needed to be at the event center bright and early with them.
Yep.
So I'm like dehydrated, riding the hotel bus over there.
Okay.
And I get to the event center and I'm just like, is there anywhere that I can get any just like liquid calories so that I both get hydrated and don't feel completely like death?
Yeah.
And they had Wild Bill soda, so I got a Wild Bill soda refill thing, and I did that for the weekend.
I remember those.
I opened up my pool, and I felt like my pool was really busted. There were 2, like, at least 9 out of 10 decks in it. And I had 9-0ing day 1 of that GP.
Nice.
In my limited experience testing on Arena, I felt like Flyers were just going to kill me if I didn't have a plan against Flyers, so that's why I played a black, white, splash, red deck to begin with. I
Okay.
had a bunch of 3/3 Thrall for 5 that drained.
Yep.
And I had an Electrodominance as like a go way over the top thing.
Sure.
But then I had this Teamer deck, and this Teamer deck was completely ridiculous. I had Zagana, the 4-drop Zagana, Electrodominance, obviously, Biogenic Ooze, Skargan. No, I didn't have Skargan Hellkite. I had to play against Skargan Hellkite, but I had Biogenic Ooze and a bunch of the best rares.
Yeah.
And I was just like, alright, this deck's great, but I'm just going to lose to these Flyers because I don't have as much removal as I would like.
Uh-huh.
Ended up not playing against very many Flyers decks, always sideboarded into that deck, and won a lot of my matches. 3-0 the draft to get to 12-0, so I only needed a 1-2 out of the next draft, and I started off 0-2. And I feel so bad because in the last round of that GP Swiss, playing against Adam Yurchik for the second time, and I beat second time, so I'm the reason that Adam Your Chick didn't top me at that GP.
Oh, brutal. Yeah.
But ended up getting a nice plane ticket to London before they got rid of the plane tickets. And I wasn't sure what I would play for London, but I ended up settling on playing, Old Faithful.
Yep.
This was a girl that got you there.
Yep.
And this tournament was a little bit different because it had open deck lists.
Yeah.
Was that the first one that they did with open deck list?
Yeah, you exchanged deck lists. I think the funniest thing with open deck lists was that the team of players, including Jacob Nagger, that played Mono Red Eldrazi, decided to arrange their sideboard cards so that it spelled out Crab Lads, which was the name of the deck.
That's funny.
And I'm like, well, I've got open deck lists, and I'm already playing a deck where I anticipate needing to scare my opponent with the cards that I could potentially be playing.
Right.
I may as well put those on the deck list to really put the fear of God into my opponent. So I decided that I was going to play one Restoration Angel in my Black-White Death Attack.
Sure.
Up until that point, I had not played a single Restoration Angel.
Sure, and largely just to make people respect the one of.
Well, it's really good, and it made people respect it.
Yeah, absolutely. The card is super good and always definitely worth considering.
And if you see it on the list, you have to respect it.
I like that. That's smart. Anyway, continue with the.
And my sideboard, I went in a similar route. I actually didn't play Rest in Peace because I felt like I needed more turn 0 impact during that format.
Sure.
So I played Ravenous Traps and a Leyline of the Void.
Okay.
Yes, a Leyline of the Void. You heard that correctly.
London Mulligan, let's go.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bad draw, so it makes sense. Screw it. You have Ravenous Trap, too, so it's not like you get that punish.
Yeah, and I played a Kaya Orzhov Usurper.
Yep.
I played a bunch of one-ofs. The Cavalcade of one-ofs.
Yeah.
Because if your opponent is trying to play around a lot of things, chances are they're going to do it badly and do it the wrong way.
Sure.
Was that the list you sent me earlier?
No, but it's very, very similar.
Yeah, so it's funny. It's funny because we were looking at your list.
Play now are extremely similar. Obviously, Silent Clearing hadn't been printed yet, so I was playing Shamley Events still.
Yeah, we were looking at your list and we thought all the one-ofs in the sideboard was funny, but now it makes more sense.
Yeah, I was looking for a tutor in the main board. I was like, is he grabbing something?
What was that, Larry?
Oh, I was just joking that I was looking at your list and I was looking for a tutor to grab a sideboard card.
Yeah.
Just because that's usually a lot of decks that have tutor effects will play a bunch of one-offs.
Yep.
No. When you have a lot of effects that are extremely similar and you're shooting for a deck that's going to be versatile with its sideboarding options,
Yep.
You should always build your sideboard plan before you build your sideboard. Figure out what matchups you want to address, figure out what cards you want to be cutting, and then look at building your sideboard from there. Having a lot of cards that will have some overlap, but be slightly more powerful in some matchups than others, especially those where you want to cut fewer cards, so you need higher impact cards. It's really good. For instance, I had a one-of that was targeted specifically against Jody Keith's Blue-Red Prison Salt Stacks artifact deck.
Yeah.
At the Pro Tour, which was Consulate Crackdown. But the card was incidentally excellent against Tartan Scales.
Yeah.
What's that card do again?
I think it exiles all artifacts.
White for an enchantment that says when Consulate Crackdown enters the battlefield, exile all artifacts your opponents control.
Okay, I can dig it.
I mean, have you ever flicker wristed one of those after your opponents rebuilt their board? Feels real good.
Yeah, I bet it does.
I haven't, but I'm going to assume you have.
Oh, yes.
I think you have done more than enough for both of us.
What do you mean? There's no better feeling than that.
Maybe we'll do a video sometime.
I think Larry feels like putting 4 prized amalgams into play is more exciting than linking a console.
I like playing broken decks.
I love my prized amalgams. There was a point in time where I was advocating for people to play red-black vampires in standard.
I remember that back then.
Was doing because I felt like going turn 1 Insolent Neonate, discard my Haunted Dead, reanimate it by discarding 2 prized amalgams, and then play a Distended Mindbender off of that
Yeah.
Oh, Mindbender. Is that the one that like ramped up all your guys?
No, that you're thinking Decimator of the provinces. Mindbender is the
Okay.
one that looked at your opponent's hand and took
Oh.
a spell that was less than 4 and 4 or more than 4, or it might have been 4 more.
It
I
was 3
forget.
or less and 4 more.
Okay, so it did hit out. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Did that flash?
No.
No.
Oh.
No, it's just like a 7 drop that, in this case, only costs 3 mana.
Yep.
Yeah, it had a merge, right?
Yes.
Yep. Yeah, I remember. That's why I knew there was a few emerged creatures. I guess they are characters too. Screw it, but no, I love me surprise amalgam when I have
Yeah,
to.
but that deck had a lot of really cool things that it could do at instant speed by tapping artifacts as well, you know.
Yep.
Madness cards like Fiery Temper off of my Key to the City. Yes, please.
Yeah, that was always cool.
I love
Cool
Key to the City. That card was cool.
Yep.
I got blown out by like in every draft I've ever played in that format.
But back to that PT, I started out 2-1 in my draft.
Not the
and then
worst.
I went 4-1 in constructed, so I finished at 1-6-2. Felt really strong after that.
Yeah, that's
My
a
only
really
loss
good
on
first
day 1 in
day.
Constructed was to Joey Keith. I lost the die roll to him, and in game 3 he was dead for like 8 or 9 turns to me top decking a Consulate Crackdown or a Flicker Wisp. And he faded the draws.
Okay.
So I died.
Yep. That's fair.
And then day 2, I 0-3 my draft.
Yep.
At 0-2 in this draft, I'm putting against Ethan Gajewski, who had the most insane deck that I think could ever 0-2 a draft. Because it had 2 Up Nixilus's Cruelties, 2 Death Sprouts, a Nissa who shakes the world, Awakening of Mitugazi, God Eternal Ronus, and like a Bleeding Edge, and
Yeah, those are a lot of really nuts
Wait,
cards.
hold on. How did you lose to that? Wow, that doesn't even synergize.
Jeez, okay.
I mean,
But yeah, no, that deck sounds crazy.
That
For sure.
deck is busted.
then I played against Logan Nettles, so Jabberwocky on Moto.
Oh yeah.
Lost the die roll. He's playing Jund, as he always does. And I think that Jund is actually one of the most interesting matchups that the black-white deck could play.
Yeah.
Because both of the decks have, you know, quite a bit of inherent 2-for-1s. And Jund kind of wants to run the black-white deck out of cards, which can be problematic because black-white cards rely on double spelling to get their value. But we get to a game 3, and in this game 3, you know, he's seen on my side for it. You know, there's a Settle the Wreckage in my deck, and there's a point in the game where he attacks me down to 8 life, and he plays a second Tarmogoyf, and he's got his Liliana the Veil that he just ticks up to 2, and I'm hellbent. I've got 5 lands. I have an Ether Vial on 3. One of my lands is a Shambling Vent, and 2 of my lands are Eldrazi Temples. So I'm in a really good spot if I draw a Displacer. And about the worst draw that I can draw in my deck right now is Settle the Wreckage, because it's just going to get plus out of my hand.
Yeah.
So I draw Settle the Wreckage, and you know, he's hellbent too, and I'm like, oh, I'm so out of this game. So I just, whatever, man, pass. And my cards, you know, sitting on top of my graveyard face down, like, you're definitely plusing this Liliana, right? Because I think that I can maybe get him to make a mistake if he thinks that I'm leveling him here and he's going to plus his Lily and I'm going to activate my vibe.
Yeah.
So he just says, go to combat, attack with my Goyfs.
Yep.
And, you know, it wouldn't be lethal, but it was going to force me to have something or activate my Shambling Vent.
Yep.
So then I played Settle the Wreckage, and he, like, viscerally shuddered in his seat and let out, like, a girl.
Yeah.
And, you know, I knew how many basics and what basics he
So you know that's in his hand.
He plays his swamp, but he pluses his lily on it.
Yeah, that's so brutal. That's so funny.
No, I lost that game, but that's still...
That's a moment.
Yeah, it's a
story
moment
from
for
the
sure.
Pro Tour. I mean, this was after he got hit by a bird during that match. There was a bird inside the XL Center.
Oh yeah, you
Oh,
told.
good.
Yeah, I remember you were telling us
jeez.
about that before. It's wild.
Caca.
So I lost to Logan Nettles, and then I'm playing against Matty Kwisma in a later round. Matty's absolute dredge god. And I lose the die roll, and I'm like, well, this isn't good, because I know that Matty's going to be playing dredge. He hands me the deck list. Sure enough, it's dredge. I somehow win game one. I
Sure.
get real lucky, and I win game one.
Okay. Yeah.
He mulls down to 4. Matty's really, really good. Understands that you should mulligan aggressively.
Yeah.
Ends up bricking on his 4-card hand. And, he had to play out lands. And I think he played... He might have played a Golgari Thug to be a blocker. So that it would force me to get, something going. And he ended up drawing a Cathartic Reunion on a turn that I could vial in a Sculler and take the Cathartic Reunion from his hand.
Nice.
So I ended up winning game 1. Game 2, he answers my ley line. And while I have a Ravenous Trap, he masterfully plays around this Ravenous Trap. And
Yeah.
ends up killing me with Exact Disease.
Yeah.
And then in game 3, I decide that I'm going to keep the hand that I opened because it has a Kaya, and it has Vile Double Tide Hollow Sculler,
Sure.
and a Settled Wreckage. So I think that my hand's pretty good. If I draw some lands, I'm in a really good spot.
Yep.
And I end up getting this Kaya up, above where it could ultimate, controlling his graveyard. And I end up losing the game by 1 point of life both ways. I died by 1 point of life effectively, and he stayed alive by 1 point of life effectively.
Yep.
Because I could Kaya ult and put him to 1, and I would be put to a life total where I would die by Exact Disease. I just needed to be able to exile 1 more card for that Kaya to kill him.
That's so brutal. That's wild.
And I was like, alright, well, there's a chance that he, plays scared around something. So I'm just going to plus the Kaya and pass and hope that I can get him next turn. And the worst part is if I had, a Flicker Wisp, too, Kaya counts all the exiled cards, not just
Yeah.
the ones that she
Oh, yeah.
exiled.
Yeah.
But anyways, finished that event at 9-7. Was happy enough with that for my first Pro Tour. Beat Pete Ingram in the last round. He was playing blue-white control. He was a little bit upset.
It's funny.
He Supreme Verdicted me 3 times in 1 game.
Yeah, Verdict is surprisingly not nearly as good against D&T as most people might think it is. If you play well as the D&T player, it's usually not very devastating at all.
Cryptic Command is really not as good when I can vial in colors to steal your Cryptic Commands.
Exactly. Yep.
But got the deck to 7-3. All the matches that I lost in 3 games, and I lost the die roll. So it goes to show you that even at the highest level of competition, a deck like Death and Taxes, if you understand your positioning, understand your sideboarding,
Yeah.
and make your opponent misassess their role in the game, it is just as powerful, sometimes more powerful. I actually think that Death and Taxes has sort of a curve where it's very, very good against players who are good enough to know what cards they should play around, but bad enough to not be able to discern what you actually have by how you've been playing.
Yeah.
And then it gets slightly worse as players know what cards to play around and know how to discern what you might have. But it's still much better than against players who have no clue what you should be playing against and are playing decks that don't really have traps that they can fall into.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the various Death and Taxes variants have struggled against different
Yeah.
Nobody played Elves at the time. But the Sage Bears deck just couldn't, for the life of it, beat Affinity. So you had to pack like creeping corrosions and things like that to try and win.
Yeah, makes sense for sure. Absolutely.
This is something where the various builds have either card advantage, is what you get with cards like Thraben Inspector or Dark Confidant. Don't do that, they're crutches. You have things like turbo attacks where you get very powerful fast disruption, Singing Spirit Guide, or Gemstone Caverns into Thalia or Leonin Arbiter or Chalice of the Void.
Mm-hmm.
You have, looking at like 8-card blue-white Yorion taxes.
Yep.
Access to some extremely powerful value loops and things like the Spell Queller interactions, playing a flash game both in terms of having Ether Vial and in terms of representing things with your own mana.
Yeah, and then all while your opponent can't play at instant speed because you're playing 3-mana Teferi, right?
Yeah, I mean, you only play a couple of 3-mana Teferis in the main deck of that deck.
Sure.
But you can throw in the sideboard. That card has been declining in that deck.
Yeah.
But again, the card is very hard to be bad,
Yeah, I mean, it always replaces itself. It's exactly.
Let's talk a little bit about the card selection that's in Blue-White Yorion Taxes in Modern. Those at home might not actually know what that deck is entirely.
Yeah.
Looking at 80-card Blue-White Yorion Taxes, you have, obviously, the Sky Noodle as your best friend, your commander.
Are you playing any in the main board?
I'm on 1 in the main board.
Okay. Because I know I'm not like Black, White, and Standard and Historic. They play like 3 in the main board. And I didn't know how many you would be playing. Because I think, especially with a companion role, I think you want at least 1.
Yep.
I think you're incentivized to do that now.
It's actually kind of interesting. 5-drops aren't historically very good in Modern.
Yeah.
Similarly, paying 3 mana for an effect isn't very good in Modern. But this is a deck that stalls out the game, lets you get a lot of value. So paying 3 mana for it's not so bad.
Especially if you randomly take the vial up to 5, then you're just paying 3 mana to put it in your hand and then cheat it in.
That's actually kind of funny. You gave the cast it for 3 mana.
Right, exactly. And not only that, if you have a Wisp in play, you can reset the vial back to
Yeah,
low
oh,
again
yeah.
and then reset that chain.
That's actually, well, Yorion could just blink the vial.
Oh, right, yeah.
This is one of those decks where I actually don't hate playing the card Thraben Inspector.
Yep.
Yeah, because you get the value.
There are 3 cards that I will strongly advocate against people playing in their Modern Death and Taxes variants.
Mm-hmm.
Yorion's a little bit interesting because you can gain increments of value off of Thraben Inspector that just hang.
Yeah.
If it's got to draw you 2 cards, it's incredibly better.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't play these. Especially your 60-card decks. Don't play Thraben Inspector.
Mm-hmm.
Don't play Dark Confidant.
Yep.
And please, for the love of God, stop playing anything that you think is like random card advantage because you just don't need it. And the worst defender isn't even a card advantage card. It's Giver of Runes. Don't play that card.
Yeah, that card was really bad when I played that. And
Don't play that card.
Before you go on anymore with the thing, Steven.
Yeah.
How do you feel about him not saying no to Thraben Inspector?
Well, so I think Chase specifically is speaking more about the black-white list than mono-white, and maybe he's also speaking to mono-white as well. But the way I built Death and Taxes when I played Death and Taxes, he was talking about earlier how like the Legacy build is like more of like a control deck. I think when I built Death and Taxes, that was kind of how I approached the deck. Was to be more of like a control-y, grindy, stall out, get in very long games type of deal.
Okay.
I rarely had the and sometimes you still like have the Blade Splicer, Blink Blade Splicer draws or whatever. But at that time in Modern, like it was pretty mid-rangey. Jund was very good. Blue-White was very good. Like those were good decks at that time. So trying to like play a value game, I think, was more reasonable then. And also, like, in Black-White, you get cards that are inherently 2-for-1s anyway, like Wasteland Strangler.
Right.
Mono-White doesn't really have that. You can play more Resto. I think I was already on 4 Restos. You could add Thought Knots, but that's bad because then your curve's too high. The mono white deck just like needed more things to do early, and at that time with the cards that exist, like Charming Prince wasn't a card yet, so you couldn't play that. Now you can probably play that. But at that time, Thraben Inspector in that deck just made sense. Whereas the black-white deck already has Tide Hollow Sculler and Wasteland Strangler, so those are 2 more slots that are taken up. So there's just less room to just play this random card that cantrips in black-white. Whereas in mono-white, there was a lot of room for it. So
I think looking at these, I think the biggest thing is that Thraben Inspector falls into the same line of cards as Thalia Heretic Cathar and Blade Splicer, as far as one where the first copy is so significantly better than each subsequent copy.
Yep, for sure.
That it's, frequently correct to try and diversify those if you do really want to play them. Now, I don't know if we're going to attach this 8-card Yorion list that I have here, but this is one that I've been working on with my friend Ihab Musa. He's a Puerto Rican player, and this is one that kind of focuses on being able to use value loops with Yorion in addition to having more of a blink game.
Yeah.
You have your traditional disruptive teardrops. You just want to load up on things to do early in the game with this deck. And then you have sort of the cavalcade of random disruptive 3-drops. So you have one Baron Tolarian Archmage because it's better than Manowar, but having the effect to be able to rebuy your own things is excellent, but sometimes you just have to speed bump your opponent.
Is Tolarian Archmage out of the new set?
It is.
What does that card do?
One blue legendary creature, human wizard, 2/2 with Baron Tolarian Archmage enters the battlefield, return up to one other target creature or planeswalker to its owner's hand.
Okay.
And then at the beginning of your end step, if a permanent was put into your hand from the battlefield this turn, draw a card. Card is really excellent when you're doing Yorion loops.
Interesting. Okay.
And, you can bounce your Thraben Inspector. You can bounce your Flicker Wisp. Those are both very powerful. Then we have 1 Deputy of Detention, 4 Flicker Wisps, 2 Reflector Mage, 4 Spell Queller, 2 Vendilion Click. Something that we looked at putting in the sideboard was either Spirit of the Labyrinth or Narset, Partner Veil. Narset wouldn't be very good in this deck.
Yeah.
But Spirit of the Labyrinth seemed like a potentially compelling option.
Yeah, I can believe that for sure.
It's just too fringe to come up in a 60-card deck. The Vendilion Click interaction comes up a lot more often.
Yeah.
But, clicking your opponent is still excellent, and we didn't have this space in this deck to try and put an Eldrazi engine.
Yeah.
Ironically, you go up to 80 cards.
And you still don't have enough room.
Curve needs to be low enough.
Yeah.
So you just don't have space to put in a bunch of Eldrazi.
Yeah.
When you're trying to maximize the Yorion loops.
Yep. Makes
We're
sense.
on 3 Resto, 1 Fencer Shaper Savant. That card is, repeatedly excellent. 1 Yorion, and then we get to 2 Teferi, 4 Path to Exile, 4 Ether Vial, Sword of Feast Enchantment, Sword of Fire and Ice, and a Battery Skull.
Yeah. Nice.
I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to say that this is the best Stoneforge Mystic deck in the format.
Okay. I would believe that. I mean, I haven't played a ton lately, so I can't speak to much going on in Modern at all, so I'll take your word for it, that's for sure.
Speaking as a Stoneforge Mystic deck, not a deck that incidentally includes Stoneforge Mystic.
Right.
When you have 80 cards, the odds of you drawing your 4 Stoneforge Mystics, one of those 4 much higher than drawing a Stoneforge Mystic and 2 of your equipment and feeling really bad about it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But this deck allowed you to play a bunch of lands. I chose to play 4 Horizon Canopies in this deck as opposed to diversifying the lands.
Yeah.
Just because Horizon Canopy has the chance of indicating to your opponent that you're playing Bant instead of playing, Esper or something other than that. If you chose to play Silent Clearing or Sunbaked Canyon, indicating something else, you just want to maximize the fact that people are playing broken blue and green mythics.
Yeah.
And you might be playing Uro, so your opponent might sideboard incorrectly.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
4 Sea Chrome Coast, 4 Hallowed Fountain, pretty standard. 4 Ghost Quarter, 4 Field of Ruin,
Yeah.
In the case of Tron or Amulet Titan, they don't have to get to 4 lands before their lands are relevant.
Yep.
Looking at the sideboard, Blue actually opens you up to some really good sideboard options in Lavinia, Azorius Renegade, something that combos quite well with your spell Quellers if you want to bounce one of your spell Quellers, but you have Lavinia in play. As well as having Brazen Borrowers. And Brazen Borrower is an answer to what I actually think the scariest card that a Texas player can face down on the other side of the table that's not a turn 1 Llanowar Elf in Modern, which is a Torpor Orb.
Yeah.
Torpor Orb is absolutely horrific.
Yep.
And every Texas player will tell you that, Texas will never be able to be banned because if people just play Torpor Orb, you almost can't win the game.
Yeah, your deck doesn't do anything.
Yeah, well, it does stuff, just not good stuff like it once was.
Very, very bad things. Very bad things.
Yeah.
If you thought it was a pile of bad white cards before a Torpor Orb was on the table.
3 mana 3/3s.
Yeah. 3 mana 1/1 in the
That's-
case of Blade Splicer.
That is some powerful Modern right there.
Yeah.
I mean, at least your, 3 Specters, Steven, at least those are above rate.
Yeah, I guess.
It's a
1 mana
1/2.
1/2 is
You know,
really that's about on rate, but it's slightly
it's
above.
vanilla test, Steven.
hmm
Your Sanctuary Cat.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
That is very important. If you are good at limited, you're good at combat math, you're going to be able to do the bad beatdown plan of this deck.
Yeah. Yep.
And,
Absolutely.
yeah.
So.
TurboTax, this is a deck that was advocated for by Kevin Poncelet, K Ponce MTG, if you've ever seen him. And it's just a, Turbo Eldrazi Stompy deck. I actually call it White Eldrazi Stompy.
Yep.
He likes the term TurboTax. I think it's a funny and cute name for it.
Yeah.
it is pretty funny.
It is really funny. Yeah.
Pros and cons of taxes. Best pro, your halftime team, your sideboard cards are literally unmatched in terms of how good they are.
Yeah. White has, I think, traditionally been like the best sideboard card color. Usually.
It does have a lot of so between like Stony Silence and Recipes
Yeah.
alone. If you just list those two, those are two of the most powerful sideboard cards
Even like
we have.
Circle of Pro Red,
Yep.
insanely good. Like if people.
Firewalker's really
Yep.
good.
Firewalker.
What's the one? Rune Halo.
Yep. Rune Halo.
As a burn player,
Yep.
Rune Halo is quite annoying.
Yep.
Yeah,
Cards like
Forge.
Nevermore are randomly really Leyline of Sanctity. Like just White has a lot of cards that
And-
just say you're not going to do what you want
Even
to
in
do.
Legacy, look at some of the cards they have. Because don't they have that one that how they kill True Name?
Yeah.
What's the name of that card?
Cataclysm.
No,
Or-
the one that kills True Name in Legacy.
Oh,
It's called
Council's Judgment.
Council's Judgment. Dumb card, man. Dumb
Yeah, card's
card.
really nuts. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'd be like, I'll vote for that. I'll be like, oh, will you now? Okay, buddy. You got it.
Protection has been removed from White's slice of the color pie, as has Soul Domain over the best cheap creatures.
Yeah.
Having powerful sideboard cards is something that has really stuck around.
Yep.
Looking at black, you get access to things like Fatal Push out of the sideboard, Fatal Push Dismember. I like playing an Oath of Gaia in the sideboard of my black-white deck.
Yep.
Being able to lightning helix things repeatedly is very good.
Yep, for sure.
Then
For
you
sure.
have, out of green, you get access to Veil Azar. You also get access to...
I forget that's
creeping
legal in
Corrosion
Modern.
to run the last troll.
Yep.
In Legacy.
Choke. Choke is a big one.
Yep.
Ooh, Choke
really,
is
really
nice.
powerful sideboard card. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
It gives you access to things like Magus of the Moon, Shatter Storm.
Yep.
There's not a ton that you would actually want to be doing with your red cards currently. You may want Pillage. The problem is that you need such a density of white sources that playing double-colored hate cards that are not creatures is not really a viable option.
Yeah, it's very difficult to make that work for sure.
Yeah.
But looking at the cons of taxes, some of your hands you open up and they just look completely abysmal and like it does absolutely nothing.
Yep.
For instance, you could open up like land, double Ether Vial, double Thought Knot Seer, and a Wasteland Strangler, and you can cast your
Yeah.
And that's if you're willing to just remind yourself to go get a swamp.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that probably does come up.
It does.
That goes the opposite way with, one of the pros of the mono white deck is you can play a bunch of snow-covered plains that have access to on-thin ice.
Yep. Not only that, but you also just, like, the mono white deck has a little less, like, the mana issue that you just talked about. But even that deck has to go quarter itself to find a plane sometimes.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, you're not taking very much damage from your lands in any of the Taxes builds anymore,
which is really nice.
One of the concerns.
Yep.
Burn has gotten more and more powerful.
Yep.
Recently, and Burn is actually one of the worst matchups for mono white Taxes if they don't really pack sideboard cards for it.
Yeah, nowadays I think that's definitely the case.
Burn is probably the best, or one of the best matchups for the black-white deck because they have things like Tide Hollow Skull or Thought-Knot Seer. And then from the board, you have access to things like Oath of Kaya and Burns Enforced Center comes out the other one.
Yeah.
Already,
But Oath of Kai is huge.
Yeah, the one of Oath is nice.
Yo.
For sure.
Oath is a nice little addition.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. That Daxes just sounds sweet, though.
Combo decks are pretty universally going to be very good. Anything that gets hosed by one of your powerful white sideboard cards, also going to be a pretty good matchup.
Yep.
And you have inherent strength against things like Titan Shift, things that have a narrow resource that you can zero in and try and stop and block them on. Whether that's lands, whether that's a specific combo piece. In the case of the black-white deck, being able to thought seize its opponent at instant speed. From the blue deck, blue deck's much better against creature decks, and it's very well positioned against the decks that are playing Uro.
Yep.
If bouncing with a Gurmag Angler in play, like Reflect Ranging that is enough to win the game most of the time against Death Shadow. Think about how good it is to have like myriad iterations of that against things like your opponent's big champion parachutes. Bounce it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, no, most definitely. Yeah, with taxes, because we're not going to talk any about the mono white. We're going to say that for another episode for time constraint purposes. But when it comes to taxes, what if you had say they did a PT tomorrow and you were qualified and you wanted to put up your best results with a taxes list, what would you play?
I would definitely play black-white Taxes, but as far as what I think the best deck versus the best build is, the best deck is kind of a myth. And I think most players should focus on maximizing their skill sets and being comfortable and familiar
Right.
in their matchups more than they should focus on trying to have a perfectly optimized build. As long as you have a game plan and an understanding of what your role in the matchups needs to be, more so than having fully optimized cards that you bring to the table, you're going to be in a better position.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense. Taxes is a deck that you need to put reps in with if you want to be successful. I know I did the same. I think Modern just rewards you as well for being very familiar with your deck, familiar with the format. You're going to have better results long term anyways. And, if you're familiar with a deck like this, it's just going to make your job that much easier.
Yeah, absolutely. If you would have asked me that question, I would have said mono white, and not because I think it's the best, but because I know I would play that one better than the black-white one.
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
Because there's so many more reps with it. And, Chase has mentioned this multiple times, too, in the podcast, is, that's definitely just, the most important thing with Death and Taxes is just knowing your deck better than everyone else knows their decks and knows your deck, and just having a really good plan and just really playing good Magic. And that's why the deck's so fun.
You know what your opponent's plan against you is going to be.
Yeah.
And you need to know what their plan against you is, not what their plan against you should be.
Right. Yeah.
And, if you are somebody who's saying, I should be playing the best deck or the most optimized deck, Death and Taxes almost certainly will never be the choice for you.
Right.
And you should look at playing decks like Burn or pre-ban in Pioneer, Nexus of Fate, things that are going drastically over or under
Yep.
where you're leveraging the fact that your cards simply match up better against your opponent's cards, and you don't necessarily have to be familiar with all the interactions.
I agree with that. Yeah, like thankfully you don't have to like do a tournament tomorrow with it. But no, Black White Taxes looks pretty cool. Me and Steven, I was telling him that we've been doing a lot of videos and stuff. We're gonna be switching over to Legacy. Maybe we'll have to do a Legacy Death and Taxes because that could actually be a deck for you, Steven.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Because we got the
to look at.
NRG, the online NRG event.
I think Steven would really like the Esper Vial.
It's an Esper Vial deck. Okay,
Oh,
we'll look
I've
into
heard,
that
I've
as
heard
well.
about that.
Okay.
Yeah,
I probably would enjoy it a lot. Does
Yeah.
it play Baleful Strix and stuff?
probably.
Sounds like a bit.
Sometimes
Okay.
it's using a recruiter of the guard, and then you have things like Meddling Mage and
I
just
see.
all the excellent
Pretty much
and white
Taxes
and
style
blue
deck.
things that you can search out with Recruiter of the Guard. And
Sounds
you
really
have
cool.
Things like Ephemerate that are just bananas.
Yeah, this sounds really cool. We'll look into it.
Yeah, because we're
Uh,
gonna do some Legacy for sure.
yeah.
Because we kind of have
I
to.
think I'm actually going to be a psycho and play the Red Bull event tomorrow at 3 a.m.
Did you
because-
sign up?
Oh, yeah. I signed up the day you told me to, like a
Nice.
week ago or whatever.
Yeah,
For
I'm-
once, I signed up for something
Yeah,
on time.
I intentionally didn't because I just don't want to do competitive
I know.
tournament. I think my next competitive tournament is going to be the NRG Legacy event
That's
that they're
fair.
doing online.
That's fair.
I just needed a break after all those LCQs.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And I'm really just like I considered either doing the Red Bull tomorrow or the or like doing an SCG this week, but I think the Red Bull means more. Obviously, if you do
Yeah,
well in
it's
the Red
better.
Bull,
It's more money opportunities and it's free.
more money, and I think it's just like way more like importance to it. Like I value doing well in that tournament more than doing well in an online SCG personally. But
Okay,
that
and
just comes
it's
down
all
to-
based on everybody's.
yeah.
Yeah. This list looks pretty cool.
But anyway, Chase, thanks a ton for coming on today and talking about Death and Taxes. You clearly have a lot of knowledge on the archetype, and it was really cool to pick your brain about the format or about the deck. So yeah, thanks.
So much for having me.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, it's not a problem. Anytime, like I said, maybe we'll have to get you on when we do like a video on
For a deck
tax.
tech, yeah.
Yeah, we do like some videos online on when we're doing gameplay. Maybe we'll have to bring you on.
Have a Magic online battle.
Ooh.
Okay.
Even you and me, black white versus mono white.
Oh, that'd be actually a really cool video segment. Yeah, we'll have
Yeah.
to we'll look into doing that. That'll be
Yeah, those
that'll
will be a good time.
And the good news is Larry can man the moto controls, so I don't time. Oh, I guess is there even timing out in one-on-one?
It's 40 minutes on the clock. instead
Okay,
of-
well, yeah, we might be okay.
Yeah,
We
you'll
might
be fine with the
okay.
40 minutes.
Push comes to shove, if it looks like we're coming down to time after game 2 or something, we can
Just refire it
throw
up.
another match and just
Yeah.
Instantly,
that would be fun.
instantly go to sideboard.
That would be a lot of fun. It would let people kind of see how the deck plays, both versions. Yeah, no, that'd be cool. for
No,
sure.
I think that'd be really cool. Yeah. But no. Yeah. Other than that, like we don't really have too much. We do appreciate. We'll definitely bring you on again and Chase in the future.
Yeah, man.
But until next time, we'll catch you later, Chase.
It's been a pleasure. Thanks for having me on, gentlemen.
Yeah, man.
Not a problem. Thanks for showing up.
And remember to make people pay their taxes.
Yep,
Oh.
that's a good sign off. All right, man. We'll talk to you later.
Yeah, that was fun. We got to talk over some taxes with our good buddy, Jay. And you know how we met, right?
You and Chase? Or
Yeah.
oh yeah. Didn't you play in the?
We played twice in one of those LCQs.
Yeah.
And I was playing Sacrifice builds, and he was playing Monorail Cavalcade, and
Mhm.
he could not be. I had Mayhem Devil every game.
Yeah, I mean,
Like I just
Tough
shot him up.
matchup.
One game he killed 2 Mayhem Devils, and I still won easily because he wasn't playing like he had a good mindset. Like try to get underneath all the reclamation decks. Which,
yeah.
that was smart. But
I think it's a fine plan. I mean, that's what we ended up kind of deciding to do with the Rakdos Knights
Yep,
deck.
and we definitely tried doing that. Like,
Yeah. And just the problem with those strategies is yes, you beat Reclamation most of the time, and when you run into some of the other stuff, you're in big trouble.
Mhm.
And that's, I think what happened to both of us when we were playing Rakdos
Yep.
Knights. You specifically, your Reclamation opponents drew like gods and beat you half the time anyway.
no
matter
cards
what-
in hand
no-
every time.
Yeah, no matter
Euro.
what you played.
It was frustrating, but
Yeah, that's how it
nonetheless,
goes sometimes.
But yeah, we're gonna be doing the Legacy tournament in the NRG event. This list is cool.
Yeah, this Esper
Blink
deck.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we'll have to go through a video or whatever with this. This deck looks really cool for sure. I really like the just tutor up a Soul Herder and then start going to town.
Yeah, but let's talk a little bit about next week. Next week,
yeah,
this is going to be the first week we actually don't have a base of the podcast figured out yet.
Yeah,
we have to figure out what the actual topic is.
I'm sure we'll have plenty. We'll certainly get to talk about the bands. So
we're definitely talking about bands. We'll be talking about historic going forward because we would really love to put some more fish. We're going to start focusing. I'm going to be looking forward to playing some Pioneer with the post bands.
Yeah.
I think we're going to have a lot of post bands videos.
Yeah, we're going to have a lot of stuff to mess with, and that's going to be really fun. So
But the primary focus, in my opinion, is going to be on the Legacy tournament.
And maybe then we should do like some sort of podcast talking about Legacy.
Maybe next week we'll do the Legacy podcast.
Yeah, that seems kind of like a natural transition.
Yeah,
and
I think we'll get our teammate Nate on the call with us.
That sounds good.
I think Nate would be a great time. I'll message him shortly actually to bring him. But yeah, I think next week we'll for certain do a nice Legacy podcast.
Yeah.
I'm a delver like aficionado. It's
the tournament's in 2 weeks, right?
In 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So it'll actually be a couple days before the tournament.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yep.
So yeah, that'll be the plan. We'll do a lot of Legacy podcasts next week. It should be a good time.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too. It'll be fun.
But I don't have anything else this week. We'll be a little respectful of people's time.
Yep.
Until next time, my name's Larry.
I'm Steven.
Steven over here. This has been Talking Swish. Again, we thank our special guest, Chase Masters.
Yep.
Until next week, we'll see you later.
See you around.